Bulls versus Edinburgh this week in what is probably a must-win game for both teams, not for their season, but just for the overall morale of the club and what's going on at both clubs. I mean, Edinburgh the other day got absolutely smashed, and I really think after signing Sean Everett for 2 more years, they really want to get a big win on the board. And I mean, both teams have chosen very strong teams, and for either team, whoever wins this game will come out with a lot more confidence. It would be like a boost for both teams going forward. But I mean, getting right into the teams, Edinburgh have gone for Piers Skuman, Ewan Ashman, Darcy Ray, Glenn Young, Grant Gilchrist, Liam McDonald, Freddie Douglas, and Magnus Bradbury as captain in the forward. So overall, Edinburgh have gone for quite a strong team here. I mean, just looking at some of the players, Ewan Ashman, Piers Skuman, Grant Gilchrist, Magnus Bradbury, some very, very good forwards in the Edinburgh side. And they're going to need it because they're going up against quite a strong Bulls forward pack this weekend. But I mean, Edinburgh at home are always a tough team to beat. I know I've said in recent weeks, playing at Edinburgh or at Glasgow against these Scottish club teams is almost now starting to become a thing like playing away in France. It's a very tough thing to do. It's very tough to go win away from home in Scotland. At number 9, they've gone for Ben Vellacott, Ross Thompson at 10, Duan van der Merwe on the wing, James Lang and Wes Goosen in the centres, Darcy Graham and Harry Patterson at fullback. So, I mean, some good names there in the backline for Edinburgh. I mean, just looking at it, you've got Duan van der Merwe, Wes Goosen and Darcy Graham in the backline there. So, a really good team. Obviously, Edinburgh is not Scotland's best club team right now. It is Glasgow, and quite firmly so. But I mean, there's some really, really good players there trying to make a case for a starting jersey in the Six Nations. So, for the international guys that were called up for Scotland from this team, there's going to be a lot of guys really pushing for a starting jersey. I mean, the likes of Magnus Bradbury, Darcy Graham, Duan van der Merwe, guys are really fighting it off for those jerseys that have a lot of competition right now. And then on the bench, they've got Harry Morris, Bowen Fenter, Paul Hill, Callum Hunter-Hill, Ben Manchester, Charlie Shield, Cammy Scott, and Pierce O'Connor. I wouldn't say Edinburgh has the strongest bench this week. I mean, I know that they have more depth. I know they are struggling with a bit of injuries as well at the moment. Like, obviously, no Dylan Richardson as well, a guy that I've been really enjoying watching for Edinburgh since his move from the Sharks. But, yeah, I mean, on the bench, the only name that really pops out to me, is probably Bowen Fenter and, yeah, Bowen Fenter. I mean, as you can see, it's not the strongest bench for Edinburgh right now, but I mean, Bowen Fenter's even leaving the club at the end of the year, so Edinburgh's going to have to do something to maintain some of their players or bring some players in. I mean, I know the other day I heard from one of the Scotland club coaches that they're struggling to keep the players in Scotland because the guys that are doing so well now are getting contracts overseas. I mean, if you think of the likes of Hugh Jones leaving the club for Glasgow next year, there's a lot of players that are leaving to go take opportunities in other clubs. But I mean, looking at the Bulls side, they've gone for a very, very strong team, and they are really confident right now, especially after last week's game against Pau, a massive win away from home against one of the top teams in the top 14, and against it was their full team as well, so a really strong win for them. They'll be looking to go back to back, and they've gone for Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Johan Grobler, Volkulo, Ruan Vermaak, Ruan Nortje, Marcel Coetzee as captain, going for Impilo Gumede again, and Jean-Andre Rudolph in the forwards. Now, that is a very strong forward pack for the Bulls, and I really like that some of the guys that performed last week, they're keeping back in this team. I thought Jan-Hendrik Wessels was phenomenal last week against Pau, and I thought as well, Impilo Gumede really proved himself as being not just a good ball carrier. He's good at line-out time. He really leads them at the line-outs. He's good at set piece. He's very good at ball in hand. He's a very skillful player, and his maul defense as well was something really important that the Bulls needed in the last few weeks, but weren't able to do. Obviously, Jean-Andre Rudolph right now is the form loose forward in South African club rugby. I think the way it is right now, he deserves a call-up. He absolutely does. But I mean, looking at this Bulls forward pack, they've gone for a really strong forward pack, and it's going to be tough to handle this forward pack as an Edinburgh forward pack. But you know, playing away from home is always tough, and for the Edinburgh boys playing at home, hopefully a full crowd, it's going to be much better for them, much more hostile conditions for the Bulls travelling away. But Marcel Coetzee at 6 and captain. I'm happy to see that selection as well. I thought he's been very good every time he's played for the Bulls this year, and he always leads from the front. He's a very good leader, and I thought he's a bit underrated at the moment. I must say he's a very underrated player. So in the back line, they've gone for Zach Berger at number 9, Andre Pollard at 10, Curtly Orange at 11, David Creel 12, Sebastian de Klerk 13, Trezor Jooste 14, and Willie Leroux 15. I mean, that is a very strong backline. they've definitely rewarded Zach Berger after last week. He had a very good game against Power, and I thought they definitely are giving him a bit of the benefit of the doubt to go play more games and kind of rewarding form right now. But the one name I'm extremely excited to see on that list is Cheswell Uester. I mean, last week he just scored one of the best tries I've seen from a young player in years. I mean, he is so fast, and I think he runs 100 meters in something like 10.4, 10.6 or something like that. So he has absolute wheels, and he's only 19 years old. He's only 19. He still has another under-20 tournament left. But yeah, seeing Sebastian de Klerk at 13 is really good. I'm really excited about watching him at number 13. I think he just adds something different. And I did say a few weeks ago that I just felt like the centre pairing for the Bulls was just a bit stagnant. There was nobody really doing anything to be a game changer or set someone else up outside them. But I think Sebastian de Klerk is probably the perfect guy to put there. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens now when Kanan Moody is back and ready to go. Will they maybe put Kanan Moody on the wing or 13? Because I think if you have your best Bulls team, it's got to have Curtly Arendse, Sebastian de Klerk, Kanan Moody, and Cheswell Uester in it. So could they potentially put a guy like Curtly Arendse back at fullback where he started his days at the Bulls, and then put the likes of Kanan Moody and Cheswell Uester on the wings, or Sebastian de Klerk and Cheswell Uester on the wings with a Kanan Moody or Sebastian de Klerk at 13. Very interesting decisions to be made for the Bulls, but I mean, decisions that you want to have. These are very good problems for the Bulls right now. I think on the bench, they've gone for Marco van Staden at number 16. Don't know if he'll probably come on at hooker. Maybe he'll just come on at flank, and Jan-Hendrik Wessels might move to hooker like he did against Pau. Olalutu, Chakweni, and Mornay Smith, Reinhard Ludwig, Nizam Kaur, Embrose Papier, Harold Foster, and Stravino Jacobs. Stravino Jacobs, another guy I really am excited to watch. He's such a good player, and I think he's been getting a bit of hate recently. Obviously, he had a few knock-ons in recent games, but he's a really good player. He's a game changer, and he's one of the better young wings in South Africa right now. Embrose Papier, a guy that can absolutely change a game off the bench, just like a Grant Williams type of player. If he has some good form like he's been having recently, I'd like to see him get a call-up and maybe play at least one game for the Springboks this year. I think he does deserve it, and maybe after 2027 he'll get a lot more game time if they phase out the likes of a Faf and Kobus Reinach. But yeah, Nizam Kaur as well on the bench. I thought he had a very good game last week. He's one of those guys that you'll always be consistent. You'll never have a bad game. He's a great player, and I can see that the Bulls squad really loves having him there, so it's great for them. Mornay Smith, another guy, and Alotu Chekwani, two good players, two underrated players for the Bulls, and obviously Marco van Staden, I think will probably come on at flank, and Jan-Hendrik Wessels will move to hooker. But yeah, a very, very strong side from the Bulls here. I mean, they've had a very strong side the whole year. It's just about time that things need to click for them. I think if they can get two big wins away from home, last week against Pau and now one win against Edinburgh, it can really be the boost that they need in the season to go back to Loftus, to get more people to come watch, to win some big games. Because getting these away wins in a competition like the URC is so important. It is so important. And I think the URC is not over. It's far from over, and the Bulls can still make the playoffs. And I think if the Bulls do make the playoffs, they can beat anyone, or at least challenge anyone. I mean, the Bulls did make the Champions Cup playoffs, and I think they're actually going to be a bit of a dark horse in the playoffs, especially with a squad like this. A lot of Springboks, a lot of potential Springboks, a lot of great players. If they can just get things to click, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, if I had to choose a starting 15 between both teams, like a combined 15, I'd probably go number 1, Pierre Schoeman, number 2, Ewan Ashman, number 3, Wilkulo, number 4, Ruan Vermaak, number 5, Rowan Nortje, number 6, Marcel Coetzee. At number 7, I'd probably go Jean de Rudolph. At number 8, Magnus Bradbury. At number 9, I would go Zach Berger. At number 10, I'd go Andre Pollard. At number 11, I'd go Curtly Arendse. At number 12, I'd go David Creel. At number 13, I'd go Sebastian de Klerk. Wes Goosen's obviously great, but I think Sebastian Klerk's in the form of his life. At number 14, I'd move Duan van der Merwe to number 14. Number 15, I put Darcy Graham, just to have a bit of a combined backline. But yeah, I mean, as you can see in the forward pack, I've gone for most Blue Bulls players, but I've done this many weeks prior to this, and the Bulls have still managed to somehow lose those games. But I think hopefully last week was a turning point for the Bulls. I mean, I'm not a Bulls fan, but I just like to see players like this at this level playing to their capabilities. But the guys I'm really excited to see this week is the likes of Duan van der Merwe playing against Cheswell Uester, Curtly Arendse against Darcy Graham. It's going to be awesome. Sebastian de Klerk against Wes Goosen. That's going to be fantastic. Wilkulo scrumming up against Pierre Schoeman. And then you have the likes of Johan Grobler against Ewan Ashman. I think it's going to be absolute cinema this week, and this is going to be a very good game to start the week off for the URC. My prediction is that I think the Bulls have gained their confidence back, and I think the Bulls will win this game by around 8 points. I think 8 points is a good margin. They can lose this game. Edinburgh is a good side, and when things click for Edinburgh, they just on form, they can beat anyone. But I think Edinburgh has been struggling recently. Obviously did re-sign their coach for another 2 years, Sean Everett, but I don't know if they have it right now. A few injuries for them as well. Against a strong team like this, I just think after last week's performance that things could start to click for the Bulls. They have a bit of a better vibe in the team, bit of a positive vibe. Guys are being rewarded for their form, so I'm going to go, Bulls by 8. But yeah, we'll do a full-time reaction right after the game to see if that was right or not, to see how the game played out. But yeah, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. We are nearly at 1,000. We are aiming for 1,000 subscribers before the Six Nations. That's what we're trying to do. So yeah, guys, thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.